Before we start this video, there needs to be a spoiler alert and a trigger warning, or Sprigger alert, or Troiler warning, or whatever. Regarding the spoiler, this video will cover some of Shane's narrative arc, so bugger off if you don't want to know anything about that. As for the trigger warning, I will be quite candidly talking about depression and suicide, which is a difficult and upsetting topic for many because it's generally an upsetting and difficult topic, so don't say you weren't warned. I've been wanting to make this video for a while. It's been a few weeks since I romanced Shane and then chopped down a tree in my other video, but it's only now I built up the courage and found a good headspace for which to do this in. Shane, as a character, can often be the butt of ridicule and is seen by some as merely a pathetic and miserable alcoholic. But what Shane actually is one of the best depictions of depression and suicidal tendencies I've seen in any game. And why do I think this? Well, it's because I myself suffer from depression and I have been suicidal in the past. Thankfully, I've never been an alcoholic, although from the way I see it, Shane isn't one. He actually just uses alcohol as a coping mechanism. I really don't want to make this a long essay about how Stardew Valley deals with mental health issues, although that could be easily done. But the one thing I do want to discuss is Shane's 6-heart event. Upon entering the Cindersap forest between 9 AM and 8 PM on a rainy day, once you have reached the 6-heart level friendship with Shane, you're greeted with this cutscene where Shane is prostrate and in quite a bad way at the edge of some cliffs surrounded by beer cans. He explains that he's been contemplating jumping off them for some time, and then asks you why he shouldn't just roll off, and you're faced with 4 options of how to reply to him. None of the 4 options will boost or detriment your friendship level with Shane. This means that none of them are technically wrong, but there is one that, from my experience, is really the only right one. Option number 1. Because there's so much to live for. Choose this, and Shane responds with, maybe for you, but not for me. You're not going to understand, just go away. Ugh. Personally, it kind of upsets me when people say things like this, or things will work out fine in the end, or it'll get better, just you wait and see. How do you know? How is it? Do you control the future? Can you change the circumstances surrounding my low mood? As much as I hate to say it, at worst this is a really hollow thing to say, and it kind of ignores how the depressed person is feeling, and you're indirectly undermining and dismissing how they are feeling. When you're living with depression, you can't help but feel helpless. And this is because it's not just because you don't have a positive outlook on things, it's because it's an actual medical condition that is also classed as a disability in the UK. I mean, you wouldn't say any of these things to someone who has just lost both their arms, or at least I hope not. Option number 2. Jas needs you. You're like a father to her. Choose this, and Shane responds with, you're right, Jas. Ugh, God, I am a horrible, selfish person. Now I feel even worse. Way to go with a guilt trip. Being depressed can already make you feel worthless, useless, and a waste of space. So trying to snap them out of it by actually saying stuff like this is actually going to have an adverse effect. Well done you. Option number 3, please. It would be a sin. Look, I don't want to lay into people's personal religious beliefs here, but please don't ever say this to someone, just no. If the previous approach is only going to make a depressive feel worse, then outrightly denouncing them is just really cruel and incredibly unempathetic. I mean, if I'm just about to jump off a cliff, being ecclesiastically condemned is more likely to push me over the edge than anything else. Option number 4. This decision is your own. Just know that I am here for you. Choose this, and Shane responds with, thanks. I appreciate that, I really do. Now, this is the correct option. Why? Because it demonstrates that you have at least some level of understanding and empathy for the way someone's feeling. Depressives aren't looking for positivity or a reason to feel better. A lot of the time there is absolutely no immediate solution that's going to help them improve their mood or change the circumstances that has triggered their depressive episode. Sometimes the most helpful thing to do is just have someone there to agree with you and just be there. Of course, I'm not a spokesperson for all depressives, and everyone's experience of personal mental health issues is going to range from slightly different to wildly different. But even so, what Stardew Valley has provided with us here is a really frank and thought out way of approaching how to approach depression. Here, depression is not used as something dramatic and sensational, and neither is it mocked. Shane's plight is presented as is, and it's great to see the game showing players some very real responses to some of the answers they feel they might actually give in real life. Anyway, thanks for your time and hearing me out in this. If you want to help and support people living with depression or prevent more people from committing suicide, please actually do something. Don't just post something on your f***ing Facebook wall. Get out there and volunteer, raise funds, or just simply donate to charities that are trying really hard to plug the chasmic gap in mental health support left by underfunding in health service. Of course, the Samaritans is one of the most obvious charities, but remember, smaller ones need your support too. More currently, I'd really love it if any of you could support an initiative that has been helped set up by my friend Dr. Joanne Edge, and it's there to assist people with mental health conditions during these uncertain times, and it's called Mad COVID. The link will be in the description. Thank you.